Let me read some super chats because there are some stuff in here that's involved and maybe talk about the subject. Frank, stay with us. How long before these sore losers on Wall Street start labeling Wall Street bets as economic terrorists? You know who the economic terrorists are? The hedge funds, the regulators, these are the economic terrorists. What they're doing, pulling the plugs on the little guys. River Sticks, thank you for the super chats contribution. Look at the number there, $6.66. You evil person, River.
Yeah,
6 is my lucky number.
Is Deb Haaland better than Dave Bernhardt for Secretary of Interior? We should do some looking into that. We'll take a look and see. I don't want to make any opinions right now because I haven't done the research on it. Benny Massimo, AOC read on Medicare for All. She's openly concerned with her brand and dreams of being the next Obama, if that's a good thing. It's an awful thing, Benny. Fee, the reason AOC is a severe threat is she ran on Medicare for All, ate progressives' messages, and was in it for personal fame and fortune. She wasn't in it for the people, is what Benny is saying. And by the way, we have over 50 people on the Rockfin. We have 53 people on Rockfin. See what happens when you come on the show, Frank? You help us out. Frank is now on Rockfin, so check him out over there. Cultist Damon, I think AOC and charlatans like her were carefully vetted long before they ever ran for office. And there's a lot of talk about that, cultist. Were they hand-chosen? Why did they let her beat the number 2 Democrat in office? And there was a lot of talk that he had his little Me Too scandal going on, so he had to be removed. So they carefully removed her and put somebody in their place to take control. That's the talk, the scuttlebutt behind the scenes, but I don't want to get tagged for saying so. But, it's awfully suspicious, the way she is acting, when we see this. Frank, tell us about Nick Brana, summer of 1970. Go ahead, Nick.
Summer of 1970.
I mean, Frank. Nick
Brana. Well, is he asking that because of the video from yesterday? I had Steve and Ed come on my show to talk about the history that they had with them.
Oh, okay.
So Ed was upset Ed, DJ Elf7, I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but shout out to him.
Elf?
He was a volunteer for Movement for a People's Party, and he wanted there to be more recognition about Assange. And they just didn't want to do it, and they kicked him out of MPP. And there's a whole bunch of other issues that happened, and there's like 100 people that left MPP for similar reasons. And then Steve Poikonen also has a history with Nick Brana, and he was telling us yesterday that almost everybody that he knows that knew Nick Brana and that left MPP left not trusting him and figured he was inept. So the reason why I did that, why I had Steve and Ed talk about their experiences, is so that people don't feel like they're wasting their energy on something that's going to inevitably fail, and that we need to try other strategies than a party that is not doing enough to actually create the change that we need.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about as far as their messaging right away? Because a lot of people say they seem like a Bernie Sanders kind of part 2 Democratic light organization. I really don't have a big opinion about that right now. I'd like to see more foreign policy. I'd like to see get more in elections, but your thoughts?
We definitely need a third party that represents us, but are they strong enough to do it? Like, in order to do that, we need to unite people who are libertarian, people who are in the Green Party, people who want to leave the Democratic and Republican Party. And what it seems like is that it's just a party that's filled with people who used to support Bernie, and not enough people who are like libertarian. Like they're not doing enough to integrate that. Like, why couldn't they get somebody like a Ron Paul or Rand Paul to get like that faction? Why couldn't they talk to the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, to join them so that we can have an actual like huge movement? But they're not doing enough with ballot access either. Yeah. So it's a lot of things to be concerned about. Like, we definitely need a third party, but is this strong enough to actually do it?
So to me, the issue beyond parties is that we need to tackle why parties don't have any power. And the reason parties don't have power is because the system is set up that way. It's set up to only allow the duopoly to have power, which is why you see people saying, yeah, well, I can't, third parties, yeah, someday, but not now, because you're going to lose anyway, the way the system is set up. And they're right, you are going to lose, because we don't have democracy in our elections. And on top of not having a transparent election system, we also don't have ranked choice voting, which would allow the third party to have an even platform to be able to actually compete with the Democratic and Republican parties. I think that the left needs to build a movement outside, beyond party lines, to get together with some people from the Libertarian Party, some people from the Green Socialist, and needs to come together to actually demand things. And then that will itself formulate into multiple parties, perhaps. I don't think you're going to get all of the left to agree on one party, but they do need to come together to demand actual fairness, for to have an ability to actually for these parties to compete in, because that doesn't exist. So whether you have the Movement for a People's Party or the Green Party, they're going to run into the same thing. They're not going to have enough ballot access across all these states. They're going to divide their support, some on the Green and some on the Independent and some on the Libertarian and some on, and then you're just fracturing that. There should be a strategy to bring people together. And but right now the left, of course, is easy. Too busy infighting. I don't think the MPP people and the Green people should be fighting. I think they're more on the same page than, say, the people who want to reform the Democratic Party. Those people are not on the same page as us. They want people to go back into the Democratic Party. And by infighting, by these third party cadres infighting, what it does, it's push people away and say, well, they're not serious, so I'm just going to vote Democrat. This is why I am yelling at everybody, whether you're MPP, whether you're Green. We need to have a fucking conversation, because this is their Democratic Party is going to run some fake progressive again, and they're going to lose, and it's the same thing's going to happen in 2024.
And the message should be, let's put aside our differences and focus on taking down this duopoly, which is really a monopoly.
Yep.
Like, that should be the message. And then it can be like, after we take them down, after we come into power, then let's talk about having even more parties that better represent your interests. But right now, let's have a government that actually represents us. Let's unite for that. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that there's not enough collaboration with activist groups with MPP.
Yeah.
Nick Brana had to be forced to have a committee of organizers.
Yeah. It's funny because that's what I asked him when we were there. You were with me. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what about your work with activists? You seem to lack a lot of connections with activists that are on the street, people, boots on the ground, that can actually go out there, get signatures, whatnot. He didn't really step around the question. He thought he did have some activists around. He said Medea Benjamin, but we're talking about like the people that we know, these activists that Fiorello talks to on a regular basis across the country. Like for me, I would have liked to seen him go and talk. Melissa Michelson was there. Like, go talk to her. She's got emails full of people right there who are they're politically homeless and are looking for a home. These are the people you got to connect with, but who knows? Maybe they're going to try to do it online where they have a big presence. They can show that and maybe get a lot of people to go over there and vote for them. I don't know if that will work. I would always think you need the activist involved, but we'll see. It's a new day. But I think you also brought up a fair criticism too as well. The fact that he didn't reach out to, MPP has not reached out to libertarians or Green parties. We see all these people who were like, pro Bernie, Nina Turner, Cornel West, and whatnot, and they come around. But where is the reach out to the libertarians? Where is the reach out to people who care about our civil liberties?
The closest that they got was having Jesse Ventura on. But then that was thanks to the help of the Draft Jesse movement. But then after that, Richard Idris, my friend who was in the Draft Jesse movement, said that Nick Brana never returned their emails after that.
I know. That's Dick Idris. I know Dick Idris.
Yeah, another Dick. Dick Medhurst, Dick Idris.
We got a lot of strong dicks in this movement, by the way.
I mean, they have the recognition of independent media. Like, they have the recognition of like Jimmy, like Graham. They're all supporting that. But we need the on-the-ground collaboration with activist groups.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. That's a fair criticism. And that's the criticism these DemSoc apologists for the Democratic Party are using against them, and one they can actually use against them. genuinely, because when you don't have the organizers that you should have on the ground, and that was always one of my criticisms about MPP, because a lot of my organizer friends are not fond of them. So they don't trust them. So like, no matter how much I said, about MPP and this and that, they're like, yeah, but who are the organizers that are part of their campaign? Because I only see media personalities. That is a fair criticism that they should actually work to fix, to listen to these people as to
more
why they're
organizers,
not having more organizers.
More activists. And it takes thick skin, because there can be a lot of people out there that have a lot of opinion. You got to, you know what I'm saying? It takes a person who's willing to get in there and work with these people, talk to different people, different opinions, and get them to work together. So that is the question for the future. Will they be able to do that? Will they get more organizers involved?
I mean, I want people to succeed, you know, like I want us to stop. I want people to stop running to the Democratic Party, but you have to show people that you're serious about actually doing that.
Yeah. Super chat contribution from the Lone Wolf podcast. He goes, "This was predictable of the Democrats. Biden promises a public option that doesn't provide it." Remember, we was talking about this, like whether we liked it or not. Oh, he's coming around. He's for a public option now, because Obama was like, no way, we're going to let a public option get in there. Dennis Kucinich was putting his foot down. He had to take him up Air Force One, fly him around. He still didn't concede, so Dennis Kucinich went away after he got redistricted. Dems also promised 2,000 checks. Now it's 1,400 by March. So wait for all of February, plebs. Starve if you have to. I don't care. Maybe in March. We'll give you 1,400. I bet it's going to be lower than that. I bet it's going to be $800, so it will be $1,200 total. That's my guess. Dems say they will also raise the minimum wage, but guess what, fam? It will be raised to $15 an hour by 2025. How you like that?
It's insane.
Super chat contribution also from a shadow banned refugee. Myself, am the only person allowed to do 666 super chats. I put a C, the copyright sign on it. I'm here to simp and file copyright suits.
I'm with it.
Go ahead, shadow banned refugee. Lucio Zago. If you haven't seen his work, please go check it out. The Unbought, right? Is it the Unbought, Johnny?
Unsold.
The Unsold, the Unbought. The Unsold. Great stuff. They have a fee hero, which she throws somebody out of the window. Excellent show as always. Thank you, fam. Thank you, Lucio. We love your work. I can't wait to get your Fred Hampton up. One of my favorite pieces, The Big Sleep by Obama. He's sitting there reading a book in a big chair, and all the activists and the organizers went to sleep. That's what they do. Just like when we heard, I think it's a breath of fresh air now that Lloyd Austin is our Secretary of Defense, fam. Isn't that great?
It was mostly people, not as many, because the BLM movement and Occupy Wall Street did come out during the Obama years.
Yeah, but where's Occupy Wall Street now? That's the question.
Well, that's the thing, the problem with movements.
The Lone Wolf podcast, again, thank you for your super chat, Lone Wolf podcast. We got to check it out. Our current third-party system has too much division and infighting. We need unity to take down the Democrats and the Republican. We also need to focus on the Senate and House more than just the presidency. Agreed, my friend. Yeah. But they have these elections wrapped up. We have to learn about these elections. They're still trying to cheat him even more. You know, the Robin Hood situation, the way they stop things in the middle of the night. Yeah. It's like, to me, I had bad dreams all over again. And they're trying to further stop you from inquiring. This is the citizen or the candidate, more data for checks and balances on the registration polls in California. That's what they're doing now. They deny us data. Johnny, did they let Raji Rob see the logs? Nope. No data. You can't even look at the logs. It's your election. We can't even look to see who went in there. No checks and balances for you. DC, they give it a super chat contribution. I'm a Libertarian Socialist Caucus of the Libertarian Party. Fam, listening to this, I want to start the leftist Libertarian Caucus, but I like this Libertarian Socialist Caucus of the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party has different caucuses. A representative of MPP did reach out. However, our consensus rejected the platform.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, I would be willing to talk to you more, DC, on why you rejected their platform to see what's going on. By the way, we have 53 watchers on Rockfin. We love you. Awesome. Muhammad Oswald, where have you been? Muhammad got here, left us a super ray. Thank you so much, Muhammad. We've been waiting for you the whole damn show, and you show up late. Frank has been waiting to speak to you. Did we read this one before?
Yeah,
I think AOC did. Charlatans. Yeah. Okay, we're carefully placed. Keep sharing, says Dolores Lima. Keep sharing the truth to wake up the sheep. We will, Dolores. Thank you so much. Guys, we have literally 95 subscribers. We need 5 more. If you can help us out, if you can afford us, subscribe on Rockfin for just $9.99 a month, and you get everybody's premium content across the board, including Frank analysis. That was it.
All right, Frank. So where can people find you? Where can and also any last words to say to our audience?
Yeah, I'm really grateful you guys brought me on. Let's keep collaborating with as many content creators who are committed to the truth as possible. You guys and Nico motivated me to not only just inform myself, but to actually be active, to go on the ground, to do more than just like sitting around and informing myself. Like, I really appreciate that. It was getting really empty out there, and it's great to see more people like me and Jackson, people like Steve Poikinen coming around, creating their channels to help spread the truth. You can find me at Frank Analysis on YouTube, at B43 Franco on Twitter. You can also find me at Frank Analysis on Rockfin. I was able to get on that platform, thankfully. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, you made a big splash in such a small amount of time. I am glad that we all met each other and we are collaborating together, and we look forward to collaborating more. Those names you mentioned, Steve Poikinen will be on Monday. Jackson Hinkle will be on Wednesday. We think highly of our new fam, and we're glad you're here with us, brother.
Thank you so much.
You got it. That's Frank Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Stay strong, brother. And remember to go over to his Rockfin. He talked about his Rockfin. He just got on the platform. Let's help him out. We've had a lot of you on here today.